It's tournament in a tea break time, you lucky people. I'm Ros Satar from Britwatch Sports.
And Chris Oddo from Tennis Now.
I'm not even Planet Earth.
That as well.
Okay.
I think listeners know by now which planet I'm from.
Yeah, okay, that's good. It has been the women's semi-final day today.
Yay!
So now we know who's going to be facing each other on Saturday. So without further ado, let us jump in to the first of the semi-finals, which was Elina Svitolina and Simona Halep. Now, Svitolina had crept in under the radar. She had one foot out the door against Margarita Gasparyan. Came back when Gasparyan was suffering from cramp and could hardly move. And then after that, she kind of got her act together. Kind of zipped through the door. Nobody really paid her any attention. And then, she put a lot of effort into making the quarterfinal with Mukova as physical as she could because of that epic tie-break with Pliskova. And it worked because she tired the poor little sprout out. And but I think it came at a cost. Now remember that Svitolina was nursing a knee injury.
Yes, she's been injured for a while and struggled to be perfectly healthy.
Yeah, she's not done too badly, but she's been on and off with this knee injury. And I actually think it told today. So the story of this match was ridiculously long burning points.
Right, 22 minutes for the first three games.
Yeah, and that first game, the third game. So Halep had gone up 2-love. And then Svitolina broke back, and Halep admitted that she was really, really tired. She said that game went really quickly. But then after that, it just... talk about the tide turning. Simona got broken, and then after that just went on the spin. And whizzed past the first set. And never really looked like she was going to be troubled in the second set. It was, to be fair, it was a closer second set. I think Simona ended up breaking for a 4-3 lead, and then broke to take the match. So the second set, I think Svitolina put up a lot more of a fight. And to be fair to Svitolina, when she came into press, she was actually pretty good. She came in and she said that if somebody had told her a couple of months ago, you're going to be in the semi-finals of Wimbledon, I think she would have just snatched their arm off because she wouldn't have believed it. So, and I think it proves to her that she can do it.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised it was on grass, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, all positive for Svitolina. I think getting that far on a surface that's not her best, in a form that maybe isn't her best, maybe this gives her confidence that if she comes into a slam really in good shape, really confident, she can get there and do it. She didn't have a great performance today. She won 47% of her first serve points. This is a grass match. Wasn't able to execute on serve, really only won 25 of the 54, 25 of 54 points on serve. So she was up against it pretty much the whole match against Halep. Really never could get any momentum going. Yeah. And you got to give a lot of credit to Halep, who's just played well and seems to be just playing better and better round by round.
And that's the key. Halep is improving round by round. So her wobble came against Buzănescu. She dropped a set to Romanian. It's never easy to play somebody from your own country. And we've seen this lots of times with lots of players. But, Buzănescu is not the player that you thought she'd drop a set to. Azarenka, you thought she'd drop a set to. Who else did she have? Coco, you thought she'd drop a set to. Zhang, she did drop a set to, actually. No, she didn't. I'm lying. She almost dropped the set to. She was 1-4 down in that match.
She was. That was a nice little turning point for her.
And she managed to come back. And that tiebreak did it for her. And she just steamed ahead. So... I think she's a very worthy semi-finalist to come out of that side of the draw. What we should have had from this draw was Osaka, who went out in the first round, and who else? Oh, and Pliskova, obviously, who was out Pliskovad basically. So, she's in a good place. She said that this year she's chill. So I sort of teased her and said, "Oh, if this is what you like when you're chilling, what you God help us when you actually really put your mind to it." She goes, no, I'm still working hard, but for me, no pressure on myself.
Yeah, she clarified what it means to chill.
So basically, chilling means doing exactly what you did before.
But I'm not going to worry too much about it, whatever happened. But she's still working her arse off, and she's still playing with intensity. I just think chill for her, like you said, and like she clarified, it just means she's not going to take losses too hard. She's going to just roll with the punches, and maybe that's actually helping her here. First Wimbledon final, tremendous achievement for her, and Serena Williams will be next.
Yes.
Can she hang with Serena?
Let's go on to that. Why don't you take us through Williams and Strycova?
I jumped out on center court for that one, and it was beautiful. I mean, one thing you tend to not recognize, and I think we all are aware of when we watch Serena on television, is her aura, her presence on center court. To me, I've watched Federer, Djokovic, Nadal on that court in the last couple of years. Her presence is bigger than all of them. There's something just so amazing about Serena Williams. The sounds she makes, the pop of the racket when she serves. And she was in great form today because I think all of us were excited for Barbara Strycova to play well. And if you look at the scoreline, 6-1, 6-2, 59 minutes, you'd say, she showed up and she didn't have any game. But you know what? Strycova had tons of game today. Serena was just there matching everything she did. Strycova tried to serve and volley, but on the most crucial points even. But she was broken because Serena was able to navigate her way past her and make the passing shots. Williams served well. She only had 4 aces, but she really attacked the forehand and any short balls. I mean, she was just making Strycova, she was making her feel the pain. Yeah. And you could hear and feel the power of Serena's shots. There was really nothing not to like about her performance. The question is, can she replicate it against an even better opponent tomorrow?
That's the thing. So, Saturday.
Sorry, excuse us.
But that's the thing, though. So if we look ahead to the semi-final, to the final, you know, you've got a player who never really... I mean, she made it to the semi-final in 2014, rolled her ankle, and since then, her relationship with the grass has been one of, like, I know you, I have to play on you, I don't necessarily like you.
You're right.
And now it's like kind of, I love you, you and I are going to get a room together type thing. I mean, she's a complete convert to the grass. And that's what's been fascinating, is that she's like kind of, I can play my game, I haven't had to adjust too much.
Right, that's key.
And I know that I don't stress if I don't know, you know, I can, and for her, she said many times, movement. Her movement on the grass has got much better, and I think it's a throwback to that rolling of the ankle in 2015. I don't think she's ever trusted herself with movement. She often calls it dangerous, if you notice.
Yeah.
The grass is dangerous. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Because you're sliding around on that slippery stuff all the time.
But she did allude to that. You're right. She alluded that I haven't fallen yet this year. It makes her happy that she just feels comfortable. She feels balanced. She can play the same tennis she plays on any surface right now. So this is basically the Halep we see on a hard court, the Halep we see on a clay court right now. She can be that effective. She's comfortable, and to a lesser degree, that's what we saw in Svitolina, and that's why she was able to make the semifinal. But can she do it against Serena, and what will it be like? She'll be pressed to defend a little bit more than maybe she has in recent matches, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to this match.
I mean, she is an aggressive baseliner, so the aggression in her game serves her well on this surface, but she is also one of the most gritty, determined little scramblers I've ever seen, and she will run, as we saw in those first 2 games. She's going to run everything down and then some. This is going to be very similar, I think, to how Kerber came out last year. So when Williams came out, she hadn't really, in my opinion, been tested that much in her run.
Right.
And everybody was like, wow, she's so back. You know, comes back, has a baby, reaches a final in her first real set of tournaments. Wow. And Kerber came out. I've never seen Kerber so aggressive in my life, ever. She even actually was making her serves count. Like, Kerber has a lefty serve, but she never makes it count. For her, it's just starting the point. And she was absolutely putting pop on those, and she caught Serena napping.
Yeah.
Halep has to do the same thing.
She does.
She has to be super aggressive, but she also has to be able to drop back to that amazing defense that she has.
Mm-hmm. She's going to have to defend it. The way that Serena Williams was returning against Strycova today, if that's any indication of what we might see in the final, Simona's going to be on the back foot a bit. Yeah. She's going to not be able to dictate, all the rallies, even when serving and even off of first serve. So it's going to be challenging if Serena can play that well, but I'm not entirely convinced that Serena can play that well again.
Back to back.
just hasn't been as consistent in the last year or two. So I'm curious to find out if she can do it. She definitely moved well today and looked fit.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke to Patrick, as we alluded to yesterday, and he was saying, for the first time, she's fit, she's healthy, it's made her lighter, and I don't think he meant in terms of weight. Psychologically, it's made her a lot better. If you're pain-free, you're not likely to be as kind of ploddy anyway. So, but I definitely give Simona a set. I definitely want this to be a 3-setter.
I hope
if
so.
If Serena's going to get 24, she had damn well better earn it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that Margaret Court will be like, she didn't really earn it. But I think you would have to be a very hard-hearted person to not want to will Serena over the line with this, because she will equal Margaret Court's record. And to absolutely, I mean, there's not one journalist I've spoken to that even thinks that Margaret Court has any claim to that record. We're talking about the Open era, not back in the days when nobody went to Australia.
It's true, but that number's out there, and we just want to clear the air for all those casual fans who might look at the number and say, "Whoa, what about Margaret Court?"
Yeah, but what got me was Mouratoglou saying, she wants to overtake it. She doesn't want to just equal it, she wants to overtake it. Mm-hmm. I wonder if she does it here, whether for once she will have the courage to do it in New York.
I think, why not? She wants to do it. I think her daughter is a motivator. I think she wants to win some slams for Olympia, but she hasn't done that yet. So that's another thing that's motivating her. So I think, if this works in Wimbledon and she continues to get even healthier, why not New York, or why not Australia the next year when she's got a long off season? New York, who knows? I mean, cross your fingers. Just stay out of trouble in New York.
Yeah, New York maybe not. Then you're right, but maybe Australia. I don't think I'm too unfair in saying that there's really only one show in town tomorrow. Obviously, Novak Djokovic will face Roberto. Oh, I keep calling him Roberta when I type. My apologies. Roberto Bautista Agut for a place in the final. I can't see. I know that RBA has beaten him twice this year, but I can't. We're talking best of 5, and we're talking on grass, and we're talking defending champion and world number 1.
Yeah, a whole different ball of wax, right? Novak, you have to think, is going to have the upper hand. Roberto was supposed to be at his bachelor party in Ibiza, and that's been delayed. His friends hung out and had some fun, and now flew back to support him tomorrow in the semis. Yeah, he's playing great. He's dropped 1 set. It's been amazing for him, and I think he can push Novak. And there's going to be moments where this is a match that's really highly entertaining. If Roberto's ball striking has always been pretty fantastic. It should be a good match. Novak, if he shows what he showed against David Goffin, it's going to be tough. It's going to be 3-4 sets. Should be okay for Novak, who's definitely looking good. And of course, the other half of the draw has a pretty decent matchup as well.
I think there's only one show in town, and I think for many people that's going to be the de facto final.
My goodness, I can't even imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like over there tomorrow with Federer and Nadal meeting for the 40th time, the 4th time at Wimbledon. I mean,
I know. And the first time since that epic 2008 final.
Epic.
It's not no secret. I'm not the greatest fan of either of them. I admire the tenets of their play, but even I was transfixed by that final.
And that final and the lead up, the storylines, the rivalry, the way it played out, the fact that Roger had won, I think, in 4 sets in 2006, 5 sets in 2007, and then the epic in 2008. It was all just building
up to that one moment. The Channel Slam, the first time that Rafa and Nadal had actually been able to do it. He's never been able to do it since. Is this his year, Christopher?
Rafa, I'm talking with a lot of people, and they feel that Rafa's playing extremely well, and they feel like that he has the edge against Federer in this match a lot. But there are other people on the other side, and we know it's Roger's house. He's the 8-time Wimbledon champion. He's the king of grass that just won his 100th Wimbledon match.
I know.
Go ahead.
I can't see past Roger. I really can't. I know that he's been wobbly and shaky. I know that he's dropped 2 sets. I know that Rafa is like charging through the draw like a ball through a china shop, but this is Roger in his wheelhouse, Chris.
It's his wheelhouse, you're right. And the sets, one of the sets, that the Lloyd Harris set, I think we can throw away. That seems like years ago, but the set against Nishikori in the quarterfinals was probably a good test for Roger, something that'll help him maybe be a little more steely against Nadal from the get-go, because he will need to be. And you know how the kind of pressure that Rafa's going to put on him, the same as ever. He's going to serve to the backhand. And Federer's backhand, by the way, looked good against Nishikori. I don't know. I'm in the coin toss mode. I have a feeling Rafa really will benefit from the Roland Garros win, even though everybody knew he was going to get it. It's his surface, but just the feeling of beating Federer again, snapping that 5-match losing streak will be helpful. And again, I've always said, well, I've said it over the last 2 years, that Rafa looks better and better on grass. He looked great last year. He was a couple points from beating Djokovic in the semi, and he's just come right back here this year and been really strong. So to me, all the bad, boring stuff that happened through 5 rounds in the men's side, and let's face it, it wasn't that compelling. We had the next gen just totally dropped out of the mix way too early. We finally get our payoff tomorrow, and I hope it's a classic. Just
on that subject, was there ever a sequel to The Lost Boys? Because I don't think there was, but if there was, that would be it. That would be it. Okay, so we are going to be back tomorrow, and we are going to be giddy because we will know who our...
Do you notice how we got through this whole show and didn't dare make any predictions? So we can nobody can say we're wrong about this. We just gave you the information, and you guys go ahead and make your own predictions.
I did. But we've pretty much made a prediction over the women's final, though, right?
Did we?
I don't know.
I didn't.
Did I?
We just said we desperately want them both to go deep in 3 and 5 sets.
The thing is, and it's one of those finals where you genuinely don't mind who wins.
Yep.
Because both would be worthy, but you you kind of want it for Simona because she's really nice, and now she won't be a one slam wonder. But then you want 24.
Did we pick Serena?
I have.
I think I'm tipping her slightly, but I'm really not convinced because I think I was fairly in her. Who do we pick last year? I don't know.
I think we picked Serena. I don't think either of us.
And look what happened
Kerber,
there.
Yeah,
65 minutes she was down and out, just crushed by Kerber. So
she was.
So I don't know, and I think it sounds like maybe you pick Federer, I pick Nadal, so one of us will be right.
Okay, but I'm always right.
Okay. Fair enough.
So that doesn't count.
But the bottom line is we've got what we wanted here. We've got 2 mouth-watering matchups.
We have. And we have
a Djokovic and Roberto Bautista Agut. Who knows? It might be the best of all 3 of them. We don't want to overlook these guys.
I mean, we have been a bit unfair to RBA. I mean, for all we know, we could end up with an all-Spanish final. But
my goodness.
But there you go. Join us again on Tournament and TeaBreak. But until then, you've been listening to Ros Satar
and Chris Oddo.
Thank you for listening.